Good morning!
I'm your radio teacher,
I am your science buddy.
and I'll give you an exciting lesson that you'll surely enjoy.
Talks Radio. Education must continue.
Learning is a great avenue.
No one will be left behind. With new normal comes new learning.
New method, new way of understanding.
Keep on learning.
Keep on achieving,
There's no way of hindering.
enriching one's dream.
This is
Talks Radio, your number one source of science education.
Conveying a half an hour of quality scientific teaching on air.
This is
Talks Radio.
According to Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the most responsive to change. A specific day, my dear senior high school students. Studying in the new normal is tough, but I still see your eagerness to learn. I truly commend you for that. We are now down on the last week of third quarter and are now ready to welcome the last quarter of this school year. Here we are at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, giving you fascinating lessons that will surely spice up your radio-based learning experience. Join me as we explore more about General Biology 2. I am your science buddy, Teacher Rosalind. Are you ready for another exciting learning journey? I'm sure you do. Congratulations on making it this far. So, I hope that everyone is ready for today's episode. Get your needed materials and hop in for another scientific ride. Let's go! Before we begin with our lesson, let us check your knowledge about our previous lesson. What was our topic last time? You're right! It is all about the development of evolutionary thought. Catastrophism, meaning the regular occurrence of geological or meteorological disturbances or catastrophes, was Cuvier's attempt to explain the existence of? Absolutely! It's a fossil record. In the mid-1900s, the Soviet geneticist Lysenko believed that his winter wheat plants exposed to ever colder temperatures would eventually give rise to ever colder tolerant winter wheat. Lysenko's attempts in this regard were most in agreement with the ideas of... Correct! Lamarck is the correct answer. What term did Darwin use to explain how new species emerged? Very good! The answer is natural selection. It seems that you fully understood our past lesson. Congratulations, my dear students! This time, let us check your answers to our previous lesson. Bring out your quiz notebook. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's begin! Statement number 1 for 2 points. If snails slowly travel beyond a big canyon, the snails on one side will adapt to that environment, and the snails on the other side will do the same with their environment. On one side, dark shell might hide them from predators. On the other side, bright coloring might let them stay cool in strong sunlight. The answer is geographical or ecological or habitat isolation. Statement number 2 for 2 points. It exists between Fowler's toad and the American toad. two species of toad found within the same geographical range, from Canada to the eastern US. While the toads can breed in lab settings to create fertile offspring, they rarely mate in the wild because the Fowler's toad has its mating. The correct answer is behavioral isolation. Number 3. As recently as 200 years ago, many people believed that Earth was only 6,000 years old. True or false? Yes, the answer is true. Number 4. Artificial selection occurs when nature selects for beneficial traits. True or false? Correct! The answer is false. Let's proceed to number 5. The individual Galapagos Islands are all similar to each other. True or false? The answer is false. For number 6, Malthus argued that human populations grow faster than their resources. Is it true or false? Yes, you're right. It is false. And for the last item, Lyell was one of the first to say that Earth must be far older than most people believed. Is it true or false? The answer is true. Congratulations on a job well done. Let's begin our lesson after this break.
Let us stay home and be safe while we learn and do our lesson. Let us continue education amidst this pandemic. In a city, oh Isabela, we are ready all the time for education, the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. Education must continue despite of pandemic. A simple reminder from the Department of Education and this station.
Did you know that in a population of organisms, there may be a dominant traits? Yes, you heard it right. It is the traits of the majority. Suppose it happens that a trait of an individual in that population becomes the trait of the majority. In that case, three things can be said. A. The individual has increased its number to become the majority in the population. 2. Its trait or traits is well suited to the environment, hence making it adaptable. And 3. Organic evolution has taken place. Now I got your attention. Let's dig deeper. Do you have any idea about fossils? Yes, fossils are the petrified remains or traces of animals, plants, and other organisms. They vary in age, spanning from 10,000 to billions of years ago, and size from microscopic to gigantic organisms. That's from End Society 2013. Wow! All fossils, both discovered and undiscovered, and the layer or strata of rock where they are located is known as fossil record. That's from Boundless 2018. This record is important for number 1. It showed the relationship between fossils and their placement. 2. It became the basis for knowing the history of the Earth, or the geologic time scale. And 3, it served as a source of data for proving the truthfulness of evolution. From Society 2013, Boundless 2018, and Britannica 2021. The fossil record, which has been substantiated by paleontology after Charles Darwin, provides consistent evidence that organisms in the past are not the same as those of today. Their body parts are not the same but bear striking similarities. This means 3 things. 1. Organisms changed or have modified their form or structure through time. 2. Their similarities point to a common origin, lineage, or ancestry. And 3. Change is progressive and does not undergo reversals. For instance, amphibians will not appear before fishes, nor mammals before reptiles. And no complex life will occur in the geological record before the oldest eukaryotic cells. These concepts embody that Darwin proposed as descent with modification from Boundless 2018 and NUS 1999. Do you know what the study of the geographic distribution of organisms are?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you're right. It is biogeography. It explains how the organisms that have scattered over the world have undergone changes, or historical biogeography, or have stayed only in a specific location but have diversified into different species, or ecological biogeography, from Spark Notes 2021. In both cases, biogeography explains that organic evolution, or the change in the physical traits of organisms, took place as a way of organisms' adaptation to their environment. It's from McKay ND. For example, the split of Pangaea into 2 supercontinents, Laurasia in the north and Gondwana in the south, have produced corresponding unique flora and fauna on these continents. Source: Khan Academy 2021. Similarly, the different camels in Africa, Asia, and South America are results of adaptation due to animal migration. From Grewal 2021. Amazing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's proceed to comparative anatomy. It is the study of similarities and differences of the structure or parts of animals. It is used to explain organic evolution by 1. Establishing a relationship between and among animals being compared on the basis of their shared features. And 2. Tracing their common ancestry despite the changes they have undergone through adaptation because of their varied environments and lifestyle. Comparative anatomy has led to the classification of structures into 1. Homologous, 2. Analogous, and 3. Vestigial, all proofs of organic evolution. Any idea about homologous structures? Yes, you got it right! These are body parts that may seem different on the outside, but can be proved the same by similarity of anatomical construction, similar topographical relations to the animal body, similar embryonic development, and similar physiological functions. A classic example of this is the mouth parts of grasshoppers, honeybees, butterflies, and female mosquitoes. Indeed, homologous structures are comparable in form but may or may not have the same function. The opposite can be said of analogous structures. Parts with seemingly comparable form on the outside because they evolved to perform the same function, and not because they were inherited from a common ancestor. Figure 4 shows the apparent likeness in the wings of birds and bats. These organisms with no common lineage have developed seemingly comparable wings because they have responded to similar environmental conditions. Such a process of forming analogous or equal parts is called convergent evolution. Now, let's study vestigial structures. These are hereditary parts that no longer seem to be useful in the current structure of an organism, but may have served some vital function to the organism in the past. There are two main reasons why structures become unnecessary. 1. Mutation in the genome, responsible for the formation of the part, and 2. The structure is not needed in adapting to the environment. When structures become less and less valuable, they become degenerate, atrophied, or imperfect in form. Our wisdom teeth are complete examples of vestigial human structures. Are you still there, my dear students?
Yes, ma'am.
Great! Do you have any knowledge about comparative embryology? Let's study more. It is the study of the development of vertebrate embryos from different species and the interrelatedness of these species based on their embryonic similarities. Similarities or homologies are more observable in the earlier stage, or that general features of an embryo appear before the specialized features, referred to as the first principle of embryology by Carl Ernest von Baer. Moreover, the similarities in the embryos will disappear as they develop. For instance, some will lose their tail and gills. Another observation can be added, that is, embryos became more differentiated as they develop. As von Baer puts it, the embryos develop from simple to more complex structures. We are now down to our last discussion. It is all about molecular biology. Molecular biology studies the composition, structure, and interactions of cellular molecules such as nucleic acids and proteins that carry out the biological processes essential for the cell's function and maintenance. It provides evidence to evolution in two ways. 1. It established common ancestry in the sense that all organisms are composed nearly of the same genetic codes that translates amino acids into proteins and the same 20 amino acids. 2. It was able to explain the mechanisms of evolution through the changes in the protein during the process of DNA replication brought about by mutation, selection, or drift. Did you enjoy studying about the threads of evidences of evolution?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you do. So, to further understand our topic, let's have a short activity.
Okay.
All you have to do is find pages 76 to 77 on your LAS. Compare the series of skulls and front leg fossils of organisms believed to be ancestors of the modern-day horse on the third and fourth columns. After that, let's answer the questions that follow. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's begin! What general change can be seen in the head of the 5 organisms? Absolutely! The answer is the head grew larger. What can general change be seen in the forefoot of the 5 organisms? You got it right! Several digits have diminished, and the third digit became more developed into a hoof. How can fossils be a piece of evidence for evolution? Great! They provide the data for analyzing the changes that transpire at different times. Good job, my dear students! Remember that organic evolution can be said as a change in the genetic makeup of the population that takes place over time. This change leaves visible marks which serve as evidence for it. The 5 lines of evidence that support evolution includes fossil record, biogeography, comparative anatomy, comparative embryology, and molecular biology. Let's assess what you learned after this short break.
Good morning, Miss Santos. Oh, good morning to Mrs. Cruz. What can I do for you? I just want to ask, ma'am, are we the ones to teach our children at home during this pandemic? As we have already given the modules, we encourage you to guide your child for them to complete all the given activities. Do not worry because instructions are clearly provided in their self-learning materials. Just provide your child the necessary adult supervision while doing the task. If you have queries, you can always reach me. We cannot do anything but to follow the new normal way of learning. Worry not, if everyone stays at home, COVID-19 will go away. Thank you, Mrs. Santos. I promise to guide my child the best way I can. Have a good day, Mom. Thank you for your cooperation, Mrs. Cruz. Likewise, keep safe. In DepEd, modular learning under the new normal is one of the modalities. Sulong Edukalidad. We recover as one. A friendly reminder from the Department of Education and this station.
It's time now to assess what you've learned through a short quiz. Kindly prepare your quiz notebook and write the date today.
Okay.
Perform what is asked for in the tasks given and answer the questions that follow. Cytochrome C is a protein found in mitochondria. It is used in the study of evolutionary relationships because most animals have this protein. Cytochrome C is made of 104 amino acids joined together. On your LAS, page 81, is a list of the amino acids in part of a cytochrome protein molecule for 9 different animals. Any sequences the same for all animals have been skipped. For each non-human animal, take a highlighter and mark any amino acids that are different from the human sequence. When you finish, record how many differences you found in the next table on your LAS and write it down on your answer sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
Then, answer this question. Which animal is the closest relative to humans? Which animal shares the farthest common ancestor? Explain your answer using the tallied data. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Of course you are. I will give you 5 minutes to answer. While answering, let's hear the official song of Radyo Eskwela. Let's start!
Tayo ay mag-aral sa loob ng ating tahanan. Sa radyo ay mag-tune lang, tiyak ika'y may matututunan. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay pumapasa. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Pagkat kayo'y kinabukasan, ang pag-asa ng ating bayan. Isa pusong pagkatuto nang matupad ang pangarap mo. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay bumabasa. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayong ng lahat makinig. Halina't matuto gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na, tayo na, tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na, tayo na, tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
And that's it! We are done with your quiz. It's quite easy, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Your teacher will check your assessment for today following the rubric for scoring on your LAS. So, don't forget to pass your quiz form on time. Remember, let your parents or guardian submit your requirements following the safety protocols.
Yes, ma'am.
There are still activities to be done on your LAS, and I encourage you to accomplish them also. Okay?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
any questions and clarifications, don't hesitate to contact your teacher. Thank you for an active participation today. Give yourselves a round of applause for a job well done. It's time to say goodbye. But I believe your learnings for today will stay with you. And I hope you'll continue to learn amidst the pandemic. Tune in next time for another scientific adventure with me. Let us give credits to Miss Sharon C. Tarayo for this script and the whole RBI production team. I am your science buddy, Teacher Rosalind. Always remember this line from Charles Darwin. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of a man. Have a good day!
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!